Good morning and welcome to Chair Yoga. My name is Bonnie and today's class is going to be groundwork where we work on the core, but we also work on the strength of other muscles in the body. So join me for this Chair Yoga practice called groundwork. So we're going to begin with our feet on the floor, seated in our chair. Now notice I'm forward a little bit in my chair, but still well supported. Now if you don't feel supported and you want to sit back and your feet don't reach the floor, please put a blanket or something under your feet so that your feet can be flat. And we sit tall. And of course, we breathe. And we just draw the breath deep into the diaphragm and slowly let it out through the nose. Breathing our yogic breath here, deep, even, and smooth. And just this practice of breathing with attention is a very helpful yoga practice. So let's bring now some attention into the spine. Make sure your shoulders are right over your hips. And then in your mind's eye, breathe up that spine from the tailbone all the way to the base of the head. And as you do that, feel on the inhale that little bit of lift through the body. And then hold that lift as you exhale. And you start to get some engagement of your muscles here, especially in your core. Beautiful. Yogic breath. And I will do some cat-cow, so step the feet slightly forward and apart, just a little. And then we're going to round that back now with awareness. And remember, if you feel any pain at any time, come out of the pose. And then as you inhale, push through your legs and come up. Roll the shoulders down your back and lift through your heart back to that mountain pose. Let's do that again. Rounding into cat. Tucking the chin a little. Inhaling, coming up to our mountain pose. We'll do one more here, warming up the spine. And then come up to standing. Now bring the feet parallel. And we're going to pat the tops of our legs here. You can hear my patting. It always sounds louder when you're taping yourself. Well, we're going to take that tap, and I'm going to tap lightly, but you tap as much as you want, as long as you're not hurting yourself. And you're going to take it down the legs, folding forward, maybe just below the knees, and then tap it back up. This is our forward fold in the chair. Down to the shins and back up. Now let's take it down to the shins, just below the knees. Stay here. Draw the shoulders back and pull the belly in. Lifting straight up the spine, out through the crown of the head, at an angle now to our hips. And then we'll take a nice breath and we'll sigh it out. And walk our hands back up. Beautifully done. The next thing we're going to do, and you can see I'm a little sideways in my chair so that you can see, I'm going to do what's called a hip walk. So I pick up one leg and hip and I send it back to the back of my chair, and then the other one. And then I bring it forward inch by inch by inch by inch. You probably do this without even thinking about it when you're coming up out of a chair, but it's a good exercise for your hips, the hip joint, and even maybe the lower back a little bit. So let's do some hip walks here with me. Forward and back. And how many times you move that hip back and forward, doesn't matter. Just get some movement going. The next time you come to the middle of your chair, stay. Sit tall. Inhale those hands up. Nice big breath here. Exhale the hands out and down. Working through the shoulders now. Inhale. Exhale them down. Let's lift one foot and just circle. And circle it in the other direction. And how about the other foot? You can hear a little creaks in my ankles as we wake them up this morning. Feet are flat on the floor. We're going to lift the heels and lower. Lift and lower. And we'll do that now with the toes. The heels stay down, the toes come up, maybe give them a little wiggle, and then lower them down. Up, wiggle, down, up, wiggle. One more time here. Beautiful. Mountain in the chair. Sitting tall, belly in. Inhale the hands out to the side and up as much as you can. Sitting tall, take those arms down and out. Lifting through the chest here. 2 more. Last one. And let's just wake up the neck a little bit. We'll tuck that chin again and then look forward and maybe look up. Forward, down, forward and up. One more. And then side to side. Gently, just finding your range of motion in your neck without any pain. And then bring it center, and then take a nice deep breath, sit tall once again. And then I'm going to invite you today to join me standing. For the next section, I'm going to do standing poses. We're going to use the chair for balance and stability. So I bring my chair slightly forward and off to the side so that it's within reach, and we stand in that mountain pose. Feet parallel, not touching, just right under your hips, and your knees are supporting you. Your hips and your shoulders line up for that wonderful alignment that supports the body. And then we inhale those hands up again, and we feel this tall mountain pose. Exhale, releasing them down. Let's do it again. So standing helps us build that groundwork, strengthening. One hand on the chair. We'll lift one knee, maybe hover the hand in balance, and then lower it back down. Same side. Lift first, hover hand, find your balance, and down. One more. Good. And now we'll do the other knee. So we lift and we hover the hand and we place it back down. Lift and hover and down. One more. So we find strength in stacking our bones in mountain pose. Our posture is so important to our stability and our sense of balance. Wonderful. Remember that forward fold? We're going to do it again now standing. So if you've chosen to stay in the chair, just follow along as best you can. We walk the hands down just below the knees, bringing our gaze out in front of us, not down at our toes. And then we walk it back up. We'll do that again. Belly in, folding at the hip. Walk the hands down. Feel that bend right here in the crease of your hip without rounding through the back. Walk it back up. I'll turn sideways so you can see. Keeping the back neutral. Using the core muscles to bring us back and up. Good. Come to mountain. Very nice. So now I'm going to take my feet apart a little bit, turn my toes out. I'm going to shift weight into one foot, into the other, just side to side here. And again, the chair is available to you for stability, or your hands can be on your hips here. Now we're going to do a little bit more for stability, some grounding work where we go side, side, hold, come back to center. Go to the other side, 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 hold on the other leg now with a little bend in the knee and come back up to center. Let's do that again. It's bend the one knee, bend the other knee, and then bend the other knee and hold and come on back up. Let's do it again. Side to side and hold. Make sure you're on the other leg when you hold and come on back up. One more time. Side to side and hold, back back up, other leg, side to side, and hold. Side lunges, very nice. Heel toe those feet in, back to your mountain pose. Wonderful. And now I'm going to turn my chair a little bit more towards me so that I can use it for balance. And I'm going to look at my chair, stand facing the chair, and lunge one foot back. Now we're taking that lunge straight back. So I bend my front knee so it's over the ankle, and the back knee can be bent a little, and I'm on the ball of my foot. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can always place the back foot down. And then from here, we're just going to hover our hands over the chair, pull our belly in, find something in front of us, lift and hold here. Breathing in and breathing out in lunge pose. Now bring the hands to the chair, straighten that front leg and lean forward again. So now we're in a pyramid pose. You can see how my head is the apex and my legs are the base. My legs are grounding me down and my head lifts up and away from the ribs. And then bend back into that lunge pose and bring the arms up again. And remember, you can always keep one hand on your chair. And then hands down, step it in, and come to mountain. And then we'll do the other side. So once again, we start with the hands on the chair, step one foot forward. Hopefully it's the opposite leg now that you have forward. So I've got a switcher. Back heel is up, chest is up. So it's more important that your chest be tall than to let go of the chair. So if you're letting go of the chair and you're hovering like this, put a hand on the chair so that you can stack your shoulders a little bit. And then maybe bring the arms up to stack over your shoulders. And even if you just bring one arm up, that's good too. Maybe you want one arm for a few seconds, a few breaths, and then the other arm for a few breaths. And then we'll bring the fingers down. Now we're going to fold at the hip so we straighten the front leg. We're hinging right here in that front leg hip, leaning towards our chair. And then pulling the belly in and pulling the body up using the strength of our core and the grounding of the feet to bring us up. Let's do that again. Forward fold and come up. One more time. And come up, come into that lunge. One more time here. Breathe into it. And then hands come down as we step forward into our mountain pose. And then you can stay facing the chair. I'm going to face you, and I'm going to bring my hands overhead here. And then I want to reach up and out of my body. So look at my elbows aren't straight, but I'm reaching with my ribs. I'm pulling in my belly so that I'm actually lifting the upper body away from the hips. Now, if you can start to use your arms here and reach a little higher, that's also an option. And now we're going to take it to a side bend. So we're going to go towards the chair first so that if you need your arm on the chair, it's right there for you. And we're pushing this other arm out and over in what's called crescent stretch. Reaching up and out, lifting those ribs, pushing the feet into the earth. And then we'll come back up to center and release the arms down. Shake it out. We'll do it 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale over to the side. Breathing in through the nose. And then exhale, come on back to center. And release the arms down. Take an inhale. Lifting the arms. Fold towards your chair. Breathe out. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the arms down. So now you're going to do the other side. I'm going to flip it around so that you can see that my chair is available to me. And we inhale up. And we just stay here for a minute and see how that feels. But we keep breathing in and out of the nose. On your next exhale, let's bend towards that chair again. Maybe a little. For the first one, we just want to feel it out, see how it feels. And then inhale back to center. Exhale those hands down. Again, inhale up. And if you're using the chair, it looks like this. Exhale over to the side. Inhale back up to center. Exhale the arms down. We've got one more. Here we go. Exhale them down. So, how did you do? Didn't that feel good? It feels so good to open up those ribs. So standing in our tall mountain here, we're going to come into chair pose. So again, you can be facing your chair. I'm going to stay right here. My feet are going to be slightly apart, so my ankles are right underneath my hips. I'm going to push my hips back so my knees don't come forward. My knees stay right over my ankles. And then I bring the arms up. And again, the chair is available to us. We could have our arms out in front of us, or we could reach up and out. So the hips going down and the chest lifting as we lift our arms. Chair pose. Can you hold chair pose and breathe here? And don't go so deep that it becomes uncomfortable. Come up a little bit. Just get a little release of that tailbone. And now everybody, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, push through those feet. Reach up, inhale again. Exhale the hands down. Wonderful. Now we're going to face the chair and come into down dog. So we walk the feet back and we lower our chest. So I'm, again, bending at the hip here, pushing the hips back slightly, but not as far as chair pose. So I want to lift as I straighten my legs, my hips, my tailbone lifts into the air. And maybe your chest comes down between your arms. And you get this nice L shape to your body. And we hold. And of course, we breathe here. That nice yogic breath. And then bend the knees and look forward. Step 1 foot forward. Here we go. Warrior 1. The back foot's going to stay down. You can turn it out a little bit towards the edge of your mat. And we bring the hands up into our Warrior 1 here. Front knee over ankle, facing the toes. Keeping your gaze straight ahead. Feeling that nice alignment in the spine, so that the bones are grounding down in a straight line from the head right through your hips. And then bring the hands down to the chair, step it back, and maybe walk your dog here. Bend one knee and lift the heel, then the other, rocking side to side. Beautiful. We'll do the other side. So here we go. We look forward, we step forward, we bend the front knee, lift the back heel, or drop it down. Warrior 1 here with the back heel down. It's called Warrior 1. Doesn't matter what it's called. Do we feel the good stretch here? Reaching up with the upper body and down with the tailbone. And all of these stretches, the movement of the body is subtle, but it's beneficial when we hold. And then we exhale, we bring the hands down, we step it back, we walk that dog again. Rocking the hips side to side. I'm going to add on here, so now in the next Warrior 1, we step forward, we step back with that back foot, turning the toes out, coming into Warrior 1 here. We want to float the arms down in front of us. And now I'm going to turn towards this front leg, so I sweep that arm around and out, turning in the ribs, turning toward that bent front leg, and then stretch through the shoulders here. Another wonderful stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. Exhale, bring it back, step it back, down dog. Walking your dog here, releasing any tension, and then just hold your down dog for a moment. Get that alignment going, lift that tailbone, lower the upper body a little. Coming in to that L shape, that right angle at the hips. And then bend the knees, look forward. Now we step forward with the other foot. Turn out the toes of that back foot. Facing our chair, we come into Warrior One. Take a couple breaths. And then we bring our arms down parallel to the floor. And we're going to take that, whatever leg's in front, that arm's going to sweep back behind us as we twist in the ribs. And you can see this front hand can rest on the chair for stability or can hover and reach in the opposite direction. And then bring that arm back. Warrior One, reach up. Exhale, down, step back, down dog. And then walk the feet in a little bit, look forward, rise up. And we'll reach out of one side and reach out of the other as we align the spine one more time. And then exhale, releasing the hands down. So we're going to do a little series here for the upper part of the body now. We've strengthened the lower part of the body. We've strengthened the middle of the core. So what I want you to do is just inhale the hands up and then bend at the elbow and bring those hands behind your head. I'm not touching, I'm just hovering them back there with the elbows out to the side. And then we push the arms out. Notice my fingertips are up so that I get a little flexion in my wrist, and then I get that deep stretch through the arm. And then I release that, bring those fingertips to my shoulders again. Fingertips to the shoulders, I start to come into that cat position. So you can see I'm pulling my belly in, bringing my elbows forward. How much forward is totally up to you, but round into cat. And then push the arms forward as you inhale, lift up once again. Look up, and then exhale the hands down. Let's do that a couple more times. Connect with your breath here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale as you stretch open. Exhale as you bring the fingers to the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, round into cat. And then push through those feet, ground down, work the core. Lift tall as you inhale, exhale down. One more time, here we go. Come to your mountain pose. So connecting with the breath is, again, a very beneficial practice in our yoga. So, in all of our movements, we try to focus on moving through the breath. Now we'll work the legs a little bit. You might want to use the chair to begin with. We're going to lift one leg and straighten it out in front of us. And bend it in and bring it down. So I'll show you what this looks like. Facing my chair, I've stepped off to the side a little bit so as I straighten the leg, I don't hit the chair. I lift, I straighten, I bring it back in and down. Now, how much you lift, totally up to you. If you feel you have very good balance and you want to try this without the chair, it's available to you then. One more. And down. And then we'll do the other side. So I'm going to step to the other side, moving my chair a little bit so I have some room. And then we're just going to lift the knee first and find that balance. And again, the chair is available to us. And we lift and we straighten. And in and down. Lift and straighten. In and down. Really grounding down through the standing leg. And of course, using our core, holding it in to help with our balance. One more. And down. Beautiful. How did you do? Let me know in the comments if that was one of those poses that was available to you, or is it one of those poses that you're working towards? Coming back into the chair now. So I bring my chair back in, I make sure it's behind me, having a seat, and we sit tall. And we're going to heel toe now, walking the feet out and in till we get this nice wide stance in our inner thighs here. Sitting tall, just noticing that beautiful stretch on the inner thigh. And then we'll walk them back in, toes, heels, toes, heels. Let's do it again. Out, out. Pause for a couple breaths. In, in. One more. And just as we did standing, we're going to bring that knee up. This time maybe we could pull it a little more towards our ribs. Straighten it out. Bring it in and bring it down. Other side. In, out, in, down. Beautiful. So you can see these things can be done in the chair. I just ask that once in a while you get out of that chair, walking the feet out again, sitting tall. We drop one shoulder forward and lift it back up. The other shoulder forward. Feeling a little release now in the hip here. One more. And then let's bring the feet back to parallel with a little yoga walk here. And now I'm going to bring my hands in front of my heart, and then now I'm in chair pose, right? I'm sitting with the knees bent, hips are back, chest is lifted. We're going to lean out, so make sure you're far enough back in your chair for stability. That's important, right? Pressing the palms together and keeping them close to your body. We're just going to twist the upper body, or turn it, if you will, to one side. Now, if you come far enough that you could put the opposite elbow on your thigh, you could go down on the first thigh or cross over the body onto the second thigh for a chair twist. And think about here as you hold the pose, drawing that top shoulder back even a little bit more. Maybe turning our gaze up to where the ceiling meets the wall. And then we slowly release that. Center first, and then sitting tall. Release those hands. Let's do it on the other side. So again, hands are pressing lightly together. Lift and fold a little bit forward, pressing feet into the floor, and then we turn to the direction we're going in our twist, and maybe the elbow comes to the first thigh, maybe it crosses over. If you cross over, you can draw that top shoulder back a little, and maybe look up to where the ceiling meets the wall. And then exhale and release that. Come center, sit tall, and release the hands down. Stacking the spine one more time. We inhale the hands up, wiggle the fingers above your head, and lower them down. I'm going to inch forward a little bit. I'm going to take another twist here. So I'm going to come a little bit forward so I don't hit the wall behind me. We're going to take the arms out in front of us and we're going to sweep one arm open. And as we do, we turn the whole upper body. So bringing the arms one forward, one back, turning our gaze to the side wall. And then we bring it back to center and we take it to the other side. And bring it back. So now I want to do that with the breath. So on the inhale, we open because we're expanding the body. And then as we exhale, we bring it back. Inhale, turn, exhale back. One more time. Inhale here, exhale back to center. Inhale, open, exhale, and bring it back and bring the hands down. Take one arm across the body. I'm holding the upper arm close, so I bring this arm close to my chest. And my hand's out here, and I can make a fist and open. Make a fist and open. One more time. Strengthening those hands and fingers. Nice big stretch. Let's take the other arm across. Make a fist and open. Fist and open. One more. And then open wide. Take the fingers to your shoulders and let's roll those elbows around. So right now I'm rolling them forward. Let's roll them back. Or if you rolled them back first, let's roll them forward. Now let's bring them center. Now this is going to be a challenge not only for your body but your brain. Let's see if we can do it together. We bring one elbow forward, the other one back, just as if we were swimming. But we're not pushing the arms forward, we're pushing the elbows forward. This gets a little deeper into the back, so I hope you feel that. And let's take it in the other direction. One back, one forward. Challenging our concentration, yes, that's a good thing though. And then bring it center, and let's stretch the arms out, this time fingertips down. And then release that, good. Inhale one more time here, and we'll turn to the side, and this time we'll bring our hands down. So one's pressing into the thigh, I'm pressing into the chair. You can press into the chair, or you can place your hand on the seat of the chair. And this is going to allow me to sit a little taller. So I breathe up the spine, not a big twist, just enough to allow for movement in the ribs. And then exhale and release that. Let's do that on the other side. So one hand goes back, the other one goes to the outside of the thigh. And it's just a tiny twist, but it allows me again to lift through the front body. And then exhale and release that. Taking the feet apart. I know you can't see my feet, there we go. Taking them wide. And feeling that stretch right here, we're just going to dip to one side, getting into our obliques. And then we dip to the other side. And just rock side to side. Nothing is moving but my upper body. So you might feel a little weight shift in the hips, and that's okay. But not too much. Wonderful. And then we heel toe in to our mountain in the chair, hands at your side, shoulders back and down. Take 3 yogic breaths here. How did you do today? Let me know how this series is going for you. Make some comments in comments for me, especially about that straightening leg we did while we were standing. Were you able to do it a little? I'd like to know. Maybe include some more of those standing balance poses. Bring hands to heart, and then close your eyes and just bow your head slightly in gratitude for what your body was able to do today. Then we rub the palms and create a little warmth. And then hover the hands over the eyes so you feel and sense that energy coming from you because you practiced your yoga today. Open your eyes, bring your hands back down. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me here on Chair Yoga. See you again next time.